So hello guys, today we are going to see a small example of how to use a pretty old device. Nowadays you can use some displays, they are arranged on pixels, but this one may be even still a solution for some really small applications. And so as you can see, this is the typical configuration. Normally you have a array of them. Let's say you have 4 of these connected. In this configuration we have 10 pins, 5 one side and 5 in the other side, and they work in this way, more or less. They are just LEDs, they are just diodes, and they are connected in such a way in which one of the pins for all of them it's common to the other LED, to the other device. In the common cathode configuration, you will have that this side it's connected to the ground. In the other side, we will have that the other configuration it's the one in which we'll find all of those pins connected to the source. And in this case, we'll have the common anode. In order to control the LEDs, we will use those pins to control each of them. We can go and see a little bit more about the 7-segment display. We can Google it. We go to images here, and this is a picture that I like. So you can see here that this, for example, this LED or this segment is connected to this pin, and then B and then C, we have the whole configuration here for each pin. So we know for sure if we put a 1 or 0, depending on your configuration, if it's anode or cathode, we will know for sure which of the segments will be turning on. But in our basic configuration, let's say I have made this hardware configuration before. We're going to use a PIC 16F8738. We're going to work on the port B, and we have all the resistors for each LED, and this is connected to the ground. Really simple. We're going to go to the code now. So this is the code that I would like to reach with you, but first we are going to work in another basic example. So let's just call it basic. In this basic example, what I'm going to do is just to show you how we can create the segment. How can we create the numbers that we want? If we want, for example, to create number 1 here, we have to turn on this segment B and C. So in our configuration, in the Proteus, you will see that segment B and C are controlled by the pin B1 and then the pin B2, because here this segment, the pins of the segment are organized from A to G. So let's just come back here to our code, and the way in which we can do that is just put in output high, which is a command that for sure you know, but it's used to set a pin to a certain level. In this case it's high because of this. Here we will put inside this function the parameter, which is going to be the pin number, and it's going to be pin V1, and then all the same thing for the pin V2. Made a mistake here, and there you go. Now we can make the simulation of this. I will change my code because I was preparing this small lecture with the other one before. Oops. Sorry, here it was V1 and V2. Apologize. We click play again, and here you are. We have the number 1. In the case we want to form the number 2, So let's just go for something easier. Let's say we want to form number 4. We need to add this and this segment. And let's just come back to our picture here. It will be segment F and segment G. And in our Proteus, segment F and G are the last ones. So it's going to be B5 and B6. So let's just put B5 and 6 here. I will copy and paste 5 and 6. We compile this again. Stop and play again. And here we have number 4. But there is another approach which is slightly easier. What if we, for example, use another command? Let's just write directly into the port, because as you can see here in the LEDs, by using this display, we are working in the whole port, almost in the whole port, because the B7 is not connected. So let's say if I want to write number 1 again, I will put 0B, because I'm going to write now in binary. This will make easier to see, for you to see how it's working. If we want to write number 1 again, we will put 2 numbers here, so the final number will be 110. We'll compile it here, and you will see that we have the same effect. What if we now, instead to put this number here, we create a vector? We create a vector here, let's just call it int numbers. And let's put a vector of 10 elements, and we will initialize them. And inside the vector, in each position, let's say in position 0, we can put the representation of the number 0. And the number 0, how is going to be? The number 0 is going to be, let's come back here, let's call it our datasheet. The number 0 for us is going to be all of the segments but G. So we can write this here. It's going to be 0B 00 11 11 11 1. And there you go. This is enough for us. Let's just give it a try. And let's change this for the value of the vector. Here we will put 0. So what does it mean? It means that we want to put inside the port V the value of the vector on the position 0, which is this one. So we'll compile it and we will try it here in Proteus. Click play, and there you are. And we have number 0. Now the next task will be to complete this vector with all the numbers. But in this case, I'm just going to open my other example. And in this example, as you can see, I have all the numbers already inside the vector. And I have done a little thing more. And in this case, what I'm doing here is to change the number by using a variable. And changing the number, which is the display number, every 500 milliseconds, and then and that's it. So let's just give it a try. I'm going to close this one. Let's say yes, and then we close all, and then reopen this one. This is the way it works. It sounds slightly tricky. We come back here to our Proteus. And let's change the program, because the program that I was using was the other one. Now we're going to put mine. And then OK. And let's just see how it works. And there you go. Here you have all the numbers from each one of the values of the vector represented in a display of 7 segments. And of course, the numbers of the variable I that are here are exactly the ones that we want to show, because when I is 0, the representation of the number 0 is the number 0 shown on the display. Let's say you can create some other parameters, some custom parameters. Let's just say that we want to have a a symbol which is just a line, and let's just check on our data sheet. Is going in this case, if we just one line, it will be the let g, which is here. So we can create this extra value inside our vector, and it's going to be 0b 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 0, and I will tell my program to go one iteration more. Oh, and we have a mistake here. Here we have 11. We will need 11. I forgot to increase the length of the vector, and that was the reason for the error. Let's just see how it's going to perform. It's going to start from 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. And technically, we will reach the point in which we will see, there you are. We will see the line. But of course, the line is not number 10. It's just a custom number that I add. So you can add some other custom numbers, but you have to take in consideration that it doesn't mean that it's going to represent your new number. So it's just a position on the... So okay guys, this is everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any question, you can ask me. I will try to answer as fast as possible.